Hey there. Welcome to Calm Warrior Yoga. Thanks for tuning in live. Pretty excited to be here. Pretty excited to share yoga on a Saturday morning like we have been in the habit of doing. So yeah, I'm excited about it. And you know, the neat thing about the nervous system is that it will go whichever way you take it. So physiologically, um, fear and excitement are the same thing. It's like activation in the nervous system. But with fear, it's oh no. And with excitement, it's oh boy. So the time that we're in right now is a time when it's really easy because there's so much that we're not in control of. Our fear can kind of take hold, right? But our fear is also a really good guidance of action um, because it will, if we focus on what we can do, what's in our power to do, it's a wonderful thing because it will keep us safe. It will keep us progressing and growing and learning, which to me is kind of the purpose of life. So I do these little rambles at the beginning of class. As if you've been to my class, you know. And part of it's just to get myself in the space, get myself settled. I come to class centered, but sometimes I like to just talk a little bit to create some context also for the class. First, an announcement is that you can also on this same channel get Cheyenne, her hatha class, 7 o'clock on Wednesdays. I was going to write it on the board, like this quote from the Upanishads, but I think it's backwards because of the way the laptop works or something. So I didn't write, I don't know how to write backwards, so I didn't write it down on the blackboard, but Cheyenne, Wednesday, 7 p.m. live on this channel. And this class also is available to view or share after the fact on the channel. At the end of class, I will leave you in Savasana, all right? So we won't get up and do the namaste thing. Deeply honor who you are. We'll state that at the beginning. Because in Shavasana, you might want to just chill for a while, so great. Also, the other thing I wanted to say is that anytime during the class, do whatever you want, obviously, it's your practice, but I'm keeping the asana practice, I don't want to say basic, I'd rather say foundational. All right, so we're going to warm up the spine, we're going to keep it balanced, we're going to run energy through the body, we're going to get in touch with our breath, and we're going to stretch out a little bit. And then once we've done that, you might feel like, oh, I've been practicing headstand, or I've been practicing something that I'm not teaching. So just go ahead and do that since you've got your body warmed up and ready. So one of the things that we've been doing as a family, now we're in our 5th week of social self-isolation. Our clinic's been closed since March 13th, is dance parties. So usually in the afternoon when kids are hungry or there's some, I may also read you a story called The Farmer. We'll see how the class feels. I might also just leave you with SoHam chant. We'll see how it goes. I wanted to leave you with 2 quotes. I've been working on this thing called the love waiver, and you can ask me about that. Leave comments below if you want me to let you know about what the heck is a love waiver. But 2 quotes that are really coming up a lot for me lately is from Eric Schiffman, and a great context for our practice today. Love is what's left when you let go of everything you don't need. And then equally valid over here is love is not a feeling, love is a conscious act of will. I think that might have been Ken Kesey. So love is not a feeling, it's a conscious act of will. It's this moving forward in action out into the world. Great, enough ramble. Let's start on our backs. Start on your back, all right? I'm gonna sit and guide you through this. But lie on your back with your knees bent. You can bring the soles of your feet together. Or you could put your feet flat, wide on your mat and knock your knees together. So we're going to begin with the breath. So allow yourself to feel the earth underneath you, feel the support underneath you, and just drop your weight into that. And begin to notice the breath. So notice the inhale, notice the exhale. Good. And now begin to allow the breath to come in deep down in your lungs. So feel like your belly puffs up as you inhale. And then soften on the exhale. Almost as if on the inhale, you're filling the butt. You know, when you blow up a balloon, the air goes to the furthest point away. So down deep in your belly, fill that first. So we're using our diaphragm and filling the belly deeply, but it's not terribly effortful. Let it be easy as possible. On each exhale, you can let your body soften a little bit. If there's any tension that's going along with that breath that's unnecessary, tension around the eyes or face, hands, feet, just let that soften. If you need to shift your position with your knees and legs, do that. But continuing just for a couple more breath cycles, filling deep down in your belly. All right, so now we're going to move the inhale into the side ribs. So on each inhale, feel your ribs expand, especially out to the side. Almost like the breath was flaring you out and making you wider. Couple more breath cycles there. If you're just joining us, we're on our backs going through three-way breathing. We've done the belly breath and the side breath. And now we're going to bring the breath up into the chest. So as you inhale into your belly and then your side ribs, and finally allowing your heart and your chest to expand on the inhale, softening on the exhale. The gift of breath. It's the entry point into expanded awareness, expanded energy, expanded love. So now a few breath cycles. This isn't a long class, it's only 60 minutes, but a few breath cycles, we're going to bring all those together. So bringing the breath into the belly, side ribs, and chest, maybe all at once, as if you're expanding as one huge balloon. And then soften on the exhale. Good. So from here, let's begin moving, warming up the spine. Maybe even have some fun, eh? All right, so move on to all fours. So hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Press the floor away so the arms are straight and press the fingertips into the floor just a little bit to hollow out the palm arch. It's a great cue from Ian Finn, and it helps protect the wrists and gives you that stability. So if you're doing any arm balances, you want to be in the habit of pressing the fingers. That's your brakes. All right, so now we're pausing here. And imagine a long line of energy through the crown of your head, right through the tailbone. And notice your breath. And on your next inhale, look forward, stick your tail in the air, drop the belly. That's the inhale. And the exhale, get round. Drop your head, tuck your tail, send your belly button to the sky. So inhale, looking forward. Shoulders away from the ears. And exhale, get round. So now back and forth in your own rhythm. And see if you can make that motion noticeable in your entire spine. So you're not just feeling it in one place, like in where it's tight or where it's not moving, but see if you could feel that motion undulating through the entire spine. Okay, one more round. And then we'll come back to neutral pelvis. Ground down through your left hand and lift your right hand as if you're shaking hands. Back in the day when we could shake hands, right? That's going to be a quaint old custom, maybe. So reaching through your fingertips, maybe your left leg comes back. So feel that long line from your right fingertips to the left foot. Left foot can be active, fingers reaching, breathe. And back to the mat. It goes back. Remembering always to honor your own sense. Again, as Ian Finn says, love is not a shape, it's a feeling, but we take shapes to have feelings. So be mindful of the feeling you're creating in your body. If you're gutting it out, you're going too far. If you're thinking about what you're going to cook for dinner, you're not going deep enough. Find that place that brings you right smack dab into the present moment. And knee and hand back to the mat. Going straight over to the right arm, left leg again, this time bending the left knee. Reach around, see if that foot or front of the ankle is available to you. And if it is, kick into it and feel that opening in the left front hip. Starting to warm us up for dancer later so we can play. Release without a spring, so control in that leg. Come back down, right hand now grounds down into the mat. Left hand reaches, right leg comes back. Bend through that right knee, reach around, and kick into that foot if it's available to you. And release, bring both knees down onto the mat. Curl the toes under and just hover the knees. Press through the fingertips. This is some shoulder work here, yes? And we're going to take a look at your right knee. You're going to take a look at your right knee. I can't see it, unfortunately. And now you're going to left leg up, but keep that right knee low. It's hovering. And come down. And take a look at your left knee, hover it. And bring your right leg up. And come down. And let's do that one more time. Left leg comes up as if you're running in space. Right knee hovering and come back down. Left knee hover, right leg comes up. and down. And now sit back on your heels. Take a look at the top of your mat and reach tall, still looking to the top of the mat. Peer up at your hands as you glue them down. And now drop the hips back, drop the head down, child's pose. If you lost your attention on the breath, bring it back there now. And let's dedicate this practice then to turning our oh no, turning the oh no of fear into oh boy of excitement. And how do we do that? By focusing on what is in our power to change, accepting what we can't change, and developing the awareness of the difference between those two things. Good. So on an inhale, come up. So you're on your knees. We're going to anahatasana, puppy pose. So curl the toes under for this one. The thighs are vertical to the ground. And now reaching out again to the top of the mat. Look up to the top of the mat and then open your heart to the mat, to the earth. Your tail sticking up in the air. Breathe. Allow your heart to melt. Sometimes we think that's an all or nothing. We're either open-hearted or closed-hearted. But it's more like an aperture. You can just open it 1% and another 1%. Or you could blow it wide open. All right, come forward onto your forearms. Drop your front body down on the mat. Come up into Sphinx. A long line from your base of your spine, your pelvis, and coming up through your spine and through the crown of your head. So you're not bringing your head up and back. You're reaching through. It's like a jet taking off. You can also bring your awareness to your shoulder blades and have them come towards each other and down your back so that they're away from your neck. All right, press through your knees, stick your hips in the air. And come up to a runner's lunge. So again, this one is vertical. Not gripping through the toes, but using your foot as a four-poster. It's really solid through the whole foot, front and back, side to side. And maybe you are ready to drop this up, pull this up, and bring the knee up and come into crescent lunge. Are you that warm yet? We haven't done our sun salutations, so don't force it. Maybe you're here, or maybe you're here. What feeling do you want to create? All right, if you brought that knee up, drop it back down. Bring this right leg back, bring the left foot forward, runner's lunge on the other side. Take that right knee back far enough so that you're opening up through the right hip. And then maybe you're ready to bring the knee up into crescent lunge, or maybe not. If you brought that knee up, drop it now. And we're going to make our way to the front of the mat. All right, so in Tadasana, so lift the toes up, glue them down. Inhale the shoulders up and then down the back. Reaching tall through the crown of the head and feeling that long line of energy through the crown of the head and through the tailbone into the earth. All right, so we'll do 3 rounds of sun salutation. I'll cue the breathing just on the first round. Of course, you're at home, you can do it at your own pace, always. Here we go. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Inhale. Exhale, the elbows to the feet, towards the feet, come down on the mat. Inhale, cobra. This is a back bend, not a hand press. And down dog, exhale. So bend the knees a lot, and you can pedal it back and forth. So weight and straight in one foot, and then weight and straight in the other. And the leg that's going straight, you can drop that hip back too to stretch through the side ribs. And after you've pedaled it out, then bend the knees a lot, hips up and back. Open the heart to the mat. And make your way to the front of the mat. And when you get there, stand up, reach up, look up. Hands to heart. Reach up and fold. Halfway, flat back. Plant your hands, step back to plank. Lower on down to the mat. Maybe you hover, maybe you do cobra or up dog. Make your way to the front of the mat, and when you get there, ground down through your feet and stand up, reach up. Hands to heart. Generating a little bit of heat yet, I hope. Reach up and fold. Halfway, flat back, staying with the breath. Plant the hands, step back to plank. Lower on down to the mat. And then come on up, reaching tall through the crown of the head into up dog or cobra. And down dog. So in down dog, imagine you're stretching the mat between your hands and your feet. Your hips are up and back. Your knees are bent so that you can get as much length through the spine as you can. Fingertips pressing, peering between your feet. All right, from here, lift your right leg up in the air. And then we're going to bring that forward. We're going to go to runner's lunge again. Or maybe right up into cobra now. I'm sorry, right up into crescent lunge. I think I called it cobra last week too. It is a bit of a back bend. Bring your back knee down and your hands on the inside of your right foot. Lift up your knee and take it back. We're going to lizard. You can scooch your right foot out towards the right edge of the mat and bring your hands deeply down on the inside of that foot. If you're flexible, your forearms might get down there. Breathe. Be really mindful of our transitions today. We're in a big societal and probably personal transformation right now. So let's bring that same awareness into each moment of our practice, bringing our left hand on the mat and our right hand up on the inside of our right knee, pressing it out. And now spiral up from the base of the spine into a twist. So you're looking up over your right shoulder, but let that looking be grounded in your spine and not in your face, pulling the rest of your spine along with it. If you're pressing that knee, let go of that now. Scoot your right foot in so that you can put your hand down on the outside of it. And let's send this right foot back up into the sky and then to down dog. Breathe in down dog. All right, same love, left side. Lift the left leg up. And now we're going to bring it right under our face. Come up into crescent lunge or runner's lunge. That foot. Keep the right toes curled under so that foot is active. And leave your right hand on the mat, bringing your left hand onto the inside of your left knee, pressing out. And from here, spiral from the base of your spine up. So you're looking slowly up the wall, maybe right up to the ceiling, over your left shoulder, but let that be grounded through the movement of your spine. Good, come on out of that. Walk your foot back towards the center of your mat so that you could place both hands and send that left leg back up in the sky. And back to down dog. All right, and drop onto your knees and sit back on your heels in hero's pose. And we'll just give our shoulders a rest. So I don't know about you, but I'm getting pretty tight through my shoulders and my chest and my upper back from carrying kids and being on the computer. So shoulder circles one way and then the other. And then alternately. The thing about the at-home dance parties is you can be really silly. Well, I mean, you could be really silly any old time, but this is good practice when we're on our own, being just maybe a little bit more natural, authentic, because it's not, we don't have anything to prove or nobody to show anything to in real time, in real life. So maybe we'll bring some of that silliness back to life when and maybe your arms lift away from your hips. Actually curl the toes under here. Actually, it's a bit more stable. And from here, you could bring your pelvis forward a little bit. It might not look like much. Sure doesn't look like much when I do it because I'm so stiff. But hips go forward Maybe you look up at the ceiling, just a little bit of a back bend here. Engage the glutes, and that gives your low back some good stability here. All right, and release your hands. Come back to sitting. Into kneeling. And one more stretch for the shoulder is bring your right hand over the top of your head, bring your left hand over the top of your elbow and pull to the side. You can widen out here, gives you a bit better base. And then come back to center, change your clasp. Left hand on the top of your head, right hand comes over and pull to the right. So in yoga, we're really taking these shapes to have feelings and to notice. It's like getting to know your technology, you know, the inner technology of the body and how we respond and how we react, how we feel. Come back to center. I've been noticing the dictates of technology are so big right now that it's even more important to know how our own technology works, how our heart works, I don't mean it's good to know in a functional way too, like the ventricles and, and how the heart pumps and all your hands. We're just going to go to Malasana. So feet are out and wide. And elbows on the insides of the knees. Hands in prayer position. If you have a block or a book, you could put it under your hips. All right, good. And then from here, we're just going to go to standing. So stand up nice and slow. And then reach the hands up. And back. And back down to your sides. All right. So for dancer, stand on your mat, take a look at your feet and have them be about hip distance apart. And now look forward and feel your feet and feel that 4-point contact of your foot. Bring your right hand, maybe I'll do this facing you. Your right hand, elbow into your kind of belly, like this, palm up. And then ground down through your left foot. So you want to really hug the muscles of the left leg to the bone. And that foot's active. And then bend the right knee and reach back and hold it. Notice that as you do that, that knee splays out, probably. Bring it down. So that knee's pointing at the floor. And then begin to lean forward as you kick into that hand. At the same time as you reach the left hand forward, thumb up. Keep breathing. The breathing will give you stability. Make it fun. If you fall over, you fall over. You won't hurt yourself. So kick, kick, kick. So that right leg is going higher and higher as you're reaching further and further forward. Breathe. And come back to center. And release the foot. Standing. All right, so left elbow comes into your left waist. Ground down through the right foot. Hug those muscles. Quad, hamstring are all hugging into the bone as you begin to lift that left leg and then reach palm up. So you're coming on the inside of that foot and holding that foot. And then notice the knee splayed out, pull it down towards the ground, and it becomes like a grounding force of itself, that knee pointing down into the earth. And then start kicking into that hand as you reach forward, lean forward. Keep breathing, keep kicking, keep exploring your edges without judgment, joy, curiosity, and come back. And we'll do that once more each side. Again, ground down through your feet, right elbow into your side. Hug the muscles of the left leg as you lift your right foot and find that foot with your hand, palm up, and then bring the knee down and back. Right knee down and back. As you reach, let it be a whole body experience. And come back. Now ground down through the right leg, left elbows in the left side. Bend the left knee, hand comes on the inside of the foot. Whoop, there goes my headphone, my earphone. I hope you can still hear me. I'll get it in a minute. So kick into that foot. Kick into that hand, foot kicks into the hand. Reach forward with your trunk in your hand, right side. Kick, 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 have fun. Keep breathing. And slowly come out. All right, good. That was fun for you. All right, it was fun for me. Let's get down onto the mat. Long sitting. So press your hands into the mat and see if you could lift up your hips just a little bit. If you want to go through your fingertips, get a little more height, you could do that. And now bring your feet together. And hold on to the outsides of your feet and knees drop out. Keep scooching your heels towards your perineum, towards your pelvis, and pressing with the elbows. If you're tight in the hips like me, press with your elbows so that those knees drop down. And then tall through the spine. Breathe. So as you inhale from the base of your spine, your tail, your spine, energize. In or feel or see that energy dropping down your head through your spine and into the earth through your tailbone. Like energy flossing for the spine. Good. So now hold onto your left foot. Bring your left heel right into your perineum. Let the leg drop out and let the right leg go long. You do Janu Shirshasana. So now turn towards that right leg. And you can hold the back of your leg to give you some support to come forward. It just helps the psoas muscle stand down a little bit, so you're not asking the psoas muscle to contract and work against the tightness in your back body. You're letting it be a little bit more passive. You're not forcing and pulling over. All right. So just head towards your right foot. The foot can be active with the toes reaching up towards your head as well. And have your quad, your right quad, be active to straighten through the right leg. All right. Slowly come on up. And we're going to change it up. So right heel comes in, perineum. Could press your right knee down with your elbow a little bit if you like, if you're tight there. And then look towards your straight left leg and turn towards it. You could bring your hands around it, or maybe you reach your toes and come forward, Janu Shirshasana on the left. If you are holding your big toe, make sure that your big toe is pressing into your fingers so that you're not hyperextending it. So you've got a little bit of a tug of war going between the pull of your fingers and the press out of your big toe. Allow your back body to open up. Let it feel good. Right. Slowly come on out. And we're going to make our way onto our back from here. On the way, of course, you could do a boat. So you could hover your legs. You could reach up with your hands. Anything that gets this contracting in here, in your core. And do it until you shake. It means it's getting stronger. And then you can spend longer if you want, but I'm going down. Hold the backs of your legs, backs of your knees, and slowly roll on down. And then pull your knees in. Hug your knees into your chest and rock it out. I like to use my arms, bending and straightening, and bring my knees right towards my head to release the SI joint, where the spine meets the pelvis. All right, let your feet plant on the mat. Knees are still bent, but your knees are wide. And then drop both knees to the right, and then both knees to the left, back and forth. Okay, you could keep doing that. If you wanted a little bit more of a twist for your spine, you could bring your arms up into a T with your palms up and drape or place the outside of your right ankle on the top of your left thigh. The outside of your right ankle on the top of your right thigh. And then drop to the right. Or your favorite twist. Thus, we're moving the spine, the home of the planes, forward and back, side to side, rotating left, rotating right. It's not complicated, but it's important that we work on all planes. And drop to the left. Breathe. Drop that foot off of the thigh, come back to center. Your chest for one final stretch. If shoulder stand is in your practice or you need another energizing back bend before Shavasana, this is the time to do it. Or anything else that's missing from your practice. If you're ready, then lie down on your back in Shavasana. You lie down with your heels pointed to the bottom corners of the mat. And your arms at your sides. And allowing your body now to rest. Now, if you're doing another pose, just let my voice fade into the background like a rock, 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 rock. Or was it the Charlie Brown, the little bird? Never knew what it was saying, but it was saying something. There's also a penguin card. Be that as you carry in to your inward journey and your practice. Really let your body rest now. Feel the contact of your back body and allow your whole front body to be soft and undefended. Let go of control of your breath. Let go of control of all your muscles as if you had an on-off switch and you could just switch it. Especially the little muscles around your eyes and your jaw. Letting your eyeballs drop into the backs of the sockets. And allow gravity also to pull the thoughts away from your forehead. Really just taking this time now, this moment for yourself, for your practice, for your well-being. Allow the thoughts to drop into the back of your brain as if gravity was pulling them down. And as you rest, I'll tell the story of a farmer. And once there was a farmer who lived with his son in the valley. And his one horse was getting very old and couldn't do the work in the fields anymore. And so he decided to let his son take it up into the valley to live out the rest of its life in freedom. And so he sent his son off with the horse. And all the villagers found out and said, "Oh, you must be so sad losing your own horse. How will you plow your fields? How will you take care of yourself?" He said, "We shall see." The next day, the old horse came back with 8 healthy horses following it. And the villagers saw what was happening. He said, "We shall see." So the son began training the new horses. And one day when he was training them, he fell on his leg badly. And again, the villagers came and said, "Ooh, that's really bad luck. You're getting old and your son now can't work. How will you tend the fields? It's terrible." Mm. The farmer said, "We shall see." And a war broke out, and the emperor just was going to village conscripting for soldiers, and they came to the village and they passed by the farmer's son because he was lame. His leg didn't heal properly. And again, the villagers said, "Oh, you're so lucky. You must be really happy to have your son here." He said, "We shall see." We don't really know what happened. And we don't even really know what is and misfortune in the moment. We can only deal with it as it comes, with our integrity, with our love. Becoming non-attached to the thoughts, to flow by, staying in the heart.